Crocker, eh? Must resist Australian accent. Well, hello there everybody, I'm Photo Dave, this is Toypixx, and in this video, I'll be doing a review of the FuRay Planet Wilderness Hunter, Crocker, who's not at all Leatherhead from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then afterwards, I'll be putting pictures at the end of the video because Toypixx. But before we get cracking on the video, remember that everything you see in here will have affiliate links in the video description. Those links mean if you click on anything and you choose to pick something up, I'll get a cut. I greatly appreciate it, helps out the channel. And remember, if you're shopping on Entertainment Earth, use code Toypixx to get 10% off all in-stock items, and if you spend $59 or more, you'll also get free domestic shipping. But if you're only going there for pre-orders, make sure you use the code FREESHIP59 if you're spending $59 or more. And now, with the shameless plugging out of the way, let's get to the video via doing things like I do on Toy Photography News, where I'm going to give them a score and a point for every little thing all throughout. Here we go. So for Crocker here, we're going to start talking about his sculpt and paint pretty much right now at the same time. Now, let's just look at this guy as his tail just knocks down. Yeah, that's how strong he is. Sculpt, I don't think there's any denying that this thing is beautiful as far as sculpt is concerned. And where paint is concerned, you've got all kinds of croc-looking stuff going on. That's paint and sculpt. Look at the detail on this. That's insane. Like, I can't even compare it to anything because the closest I have to the detail and the paintwork and all that goes into this is the FuRay Toys Spring, which is kind of a complementary line to this, I believe. And yeah, I'm not going to argue with anybody about the sculpt and the paint. It's pretty phenomenal. So, for that, our boy Crocker, it's a point. Okay, 2 points, because that was sculpt and paint. Okay, a figure can't be totally photogenic without coming with all kinds of stuff. So, first we're going to start with the head. Does Crocker here have an extra head? No, he does not. But, while that means that objectively I have to remove a point for that, I don't know what else you can do. Like, how do you give a crocodile a lot of expression? He does have a mouth that opens and closes, so while objectively I can't say open, objectively I can't say that he gets a point for an extra head, subjectively it doesn't bother me at all. Now, checking out hands, you can see here we have a right pointer finger. Let's see if we can... Still learning how to pull this stuff off right. We have a left pointer finger. We have a right gripping hand. And we have a left splayed out hand. And you can see on him, we have a splayed out hand on the right, and we have a gripping hand on his left. So, as far as hands are concerned, he's loaded. So, for head, he doesn't get a point. For hands, he definitely does get a point. So right now, we're at sculpt and paint. Point for sculpt, point for paint, point for hands, no point for head. We're at 3 out of 4 so far. Now, as far as Crocker's concerned, he definitely gets a point for accessories. Check that bad boy out. Woo! These are little handcuffs that he's obviously broken out of. So you've got the beat up chain or tore up chain. All you have to do to put those on is pull out the hands and slide these over the wrists and then plug hands back in. And then he comes with a big old knife and a little old knife sheath. Easy enough. Just slide him through. That plugs onto his back. Then he has his shotgun holster along with the shotgun itself. I love all the little details they put even on the accessories. This is just good stuff. Woo. Then he has this crazy huge vest that he gets to put on. It's a really rubbery material, really bendy. It's easy to take it on and take it off. Put it on. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So yeah, there's your vest. And of course, it can't be Crocker Natch without this crazy little hat he gets to wear on the top of his head. It has a magnet on it, and his head's got a little magnet. Let's see if we can do this. Ooh, and it just stays right there. So, like I said earlier, accessories, he definitely gets a point. So far, Crocker is at 4 out of 5. Now, when it comes to most lines, I assume that most of you know what the articulation should be. So when it comes to the articulation segment for those lines, I'll either speed through it, or I'll show you where it feels a little extra, or where it feels a little hindered. With Crocker here, I don't know how to do that. So we're just going to try a little something. First off, something I didn't show you in the accessories, these are neck pieces. You plug them in, basically by pulling it out at the top of the head, which is a pain in the butt. I have to use the hairdryer every time, so yeah, there's that. But you pull those out, and you can see here, this neck piece, the head, if you plug it in, will veer off to the left. And then you can see with this one, the head will veer off to the right, and now it's just straight ahead. So it's on a ball joint, so you can get a little bit of movement inside there, but not much. Most of the movement you're going to get out of the head comes from these pieces. Beyond that, he does hit here pretty well. Does pretty good for a big man. He's got the 90-degree bend at the elbow, nothing too crazy. He's got the diaphragm cut, but it doesn't stay. Like, it's a good cut, but you're not going to be twisting him too well and having him stay. Well, you can a little bit. It's like all this articulation is there, but it's kind of minor. Like, you can get forward a little, you get back. And then at the waist, he has the one thing I hate, and that's a waist cut. But it's hidden so well, I actually don't really hold it against him. So you have a spin like that. You can see, though, there's nothing in there. It just doesn't give it away. And then the legs are just kind of weird. You have your basic hip joint there. There's no thigh cut. But the way that his knees are, it's hidden by the pants in front, which is kind of cool. And you can do that, get him back that far. And then nothing really, there's a little bit of swivel at the feet. Man, I gotta get my hand out of that light so you guys can actually see this stuff. Little bit there. You can see that it should bend up right there. Sorry, I decided to take it off camera to see if I could make that happen. Okay, there we go. I did make it happen. So yeah, he's got the articulation, but it feels limited at the same time. It also feels natural. His tail has a lot of segmented areas. This thing, I would call this an articulated brick. Not like a statue. It can move, and it can move about as well as I think should be expected, but if anybody ever breaks into your place, you can just grab him and smack him in the back of the head with it. It's good times, but don't hold him by the tail, because he's a really heavy figure. That tail will just pop right off. So, when we're talking articulation, I'm giving him a point, and when we're talking natural movement for a little crocodile dude that's not at all little, I think he can pretty much do everything he needs to. Whew! That was tough. Now, just because it seems to be customary, on to the size comparisons. So with all that, Leatherhead gets a score of 6 out of 7. Now as for subjective final thoughts, what do I really think of this guy? I'm sticking with articulated brick. You're gonna hurt somebody if you ever throw this at him. But overall, he's not a figure you're going to put on the shelf and then pull back down a lot to play with unless you're into taking photos. Because it's not like he has this crazy range of movement, yet at the same time he feels like he gets all the movement in he needs to. I will say the one thing that I don't like at all is how often I have to heat this up so I can pull that neck piece out, so I can pull the head out, so I can plug another neck piece in. I've done it multiple times at this point, and it's still not getting easier, which is kind of a bummer for me. But if you are somebody that just likes putting them on the shelf, he's going to look phenomenal. And like I say, for photos, he's going to look good. So I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on your situation. I'm not going to sit here and say you should get him, and I'm not going to sit here and say you shouldn't get him. I'm happy with the purchase, but at the same time, I'm awfully annoyed about the neck. So, that's what I got. Have you picked up Crocker? Do you have any opinions of your own if you have? And if not, are you planning on getting them? These are all things that I ask you to do and put in the comments so the channel can grow. See how that works? It's tricky. It's all algorithm-like. Anyway, folks, thanks again for watching all the way through. It's hugely appreciated. And until next time, have fun and happy snapping. See ya.